Bristol just proved one thing. The fastest car doesn't always win. In the Cup Series, Gibbs got his first career win, but he only led the final 25 laps. Kyle Larson led 284 laps. Ryan Blaney led 190 laps, and neither of them won. Why? Strategy. Gibbs stayed out, kept track position, and held on in overtime to win by just 0.05 of a second. Then in the Xfinity race, same exact story. Connor Zilisch stayed out. Larson dominated, still finished second. Even in the Truck Series, a $350,000 bonus was lost in one moment because of track position. So here's the question. Should races be decided by strategy like this, or should the fastest car always win? Motorsports weekly update for you here on the Braden Surprenant Show. First-time winners and a strategy takeover in Bristol. If there was one theme at Bristol this weekend, it was simple. Track position was everything, and strategy decided everything. Across all three NASCAR series, it didn't matter who had the fastest car. It mattered who made the right call at the right time.
Yeah, in the NASCAR Cup Series, we have a new winner, Gibbs, who's the grandson of Joe Gibbs, the car owner, captured his first career Cup Series victory at Bristol, and it came down to one decision, not giving up track position. Gibbs stayed out late while others pitted and took the lead and held off Ryan Blaney in an overtime finish by just 55 thousandths of a second, the closest finish at Bristol in decades. What makes it more wild is that Gibbs only led the final 25 laps. Meanwhile, Kyle Larson led 284 of the 500, and Blaney led 190. But neither of them won. Instead, it was Gibbs capitalizing on timing, restarts, and execution. Also, an emotional win as Gibbs honored his late father, Coy, after the race, Coy Gibbs passed away. If I remember correctly, Gibbs won the Xfinity Championship in 2024, took the pictures that night from the racetrack, and his father, Coy, was gone the next morning. So that was from an emotional high to an emotional low for him in that race. But the O'Reilly Auto Parts Series on Saturday night, same exact story.
Yeah, same exact story. And it seems to be the very common theme here. As you take a look at the in the series, the exact same story played out. Connor Zilisch took the win by staying out on older tires late, thanks to a bold call from veteran crew chief Rodney Childers. He held off once again Kyle Larson, who dominated by leading 230 laps, but finished second. For Zilisch, it's a big bounce back moment after struggles at the Cup level, and once again, the fastest car didn't win. The smartest strategy did.
In the Craftsman Truck Series, same thing. Christopher Bell returned to victory lane for the first time since 2017. Bell took control late and held off Chandler Smith for the win. The biggest storyline, though, is last year's champion, Corey Heim, lost a shot at $350,000 after getting spun while battling for the race lead in a major swing moment. And this all comes down to the way Bristol was ruined after it got repaved, because now NASCAR caught lightning in a bottle with Kansas with progressive banking. So it's, say, 13 degrees of banking down on the bottom, but it goes up to about 20 up at the top. And the more banking you have, the better your car handles, the easier it is to turn. So guys tend to run towards the higher banking. They tried that with Bristol, and then it became everyone runs the top lane and that's it. And now they're putting a traction substance that they put down for drag racing. So like when you see drag racers doing their burnouts and running back, they're getting a sticky traction substance on the tires that whole way. They did that to try to improve the bottom line at Bristol, try to create the racing down there. Well, what they did was they took away the top line because the bottom line now was such an advantage, and it became a one-lane racetrack, and they ruined it again. So that's why you're seeing it's become such a difficult track to pass at now, because of, if you want to make a pass, you have to go high. You don't have the same, you have the ability up high because of the higher banking, but you don't have the grip that you have down low. So that's just the way Bristol has been for the last couple of years now, and it's made it so painful to watch.
Coming up next, NASCAR Cup Series now heads to Kansas Speedway, where speed matters more than track position. A complete shift from Bristol. So the question becomes, will strategy still matter, or will raw speed take back over. And the big debate after Bristol, should NASCAR races come down to strategy like this, or should the fastest car always win? Because this weekend proves something. You could dominate hundreds of laps and still lose. So what makes racing better? Unpredictable strategy or pure performance?
You need to have both. You need to have both, but you have to make the right call at the right time and hope it works, because Ty could have made that choice again and not executed and would have lost. So it's also up to the driver to be able to execute on the plan and on the strategy. And yes, big difference. 1.5 mile track. We're getting back to the bigger tracks instead of the half miles like Bristol.
Well, ask Frank what he thinks about Kansas Speedway's track next week on the update.